What's up, everybody? Welcome to Targeting Winners, a college football betting podcast. We have reached the end of the 2025 season, and quite frankly, it couldn't have ended any better for us as fans or as bettors. I am there. Yes. Pause to us. I am Darren up here in chilly New York, waiting on another foot of snow to come this weekend, and joined by Tim and Pete. Tim, how's Florida today?
Winter is over, I believe. We were into the 30s this week. And it was, I think it's currently 74 right now. So we're good.
Wow. You could add the last two high temperatures up here and not even get 74, but whatever. Pete, how's things south of the border?
Warm as usual, 84, sunny, all that good stuff. So everything is good. I have no complaints at all.
Actually, Darren, I'm sorry. We just had a cold front come in. We are down to 70. So,
jeez.
Currently in
Jacksonville. I cannot put into words how much I am jealous of both of your locations at the moment. All right, guys. Anyway, as you can see there, if you're checking us out on YouTube or Spotify, if you're listening to us, just picture a lovely graphic showing the Indiana Hoosiers with more points scored than the U. 27-21. Last-minute interception by Indiana, sealing the victory. Carson Beck doing Carson Beck things to wind up his career. Guys, we sat there. We watched the game. Thoughts? Anything surprise you? Anything not surprise you? What did you think? Pete, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, for once, I guess in the playoffs, I mean, it was tough. We talked about how tough it was to bet these games in the playoff just because you just didn't, and really through the bowl games. The playoffs are maybe a little easier than the bowl games, but the bowl games are tough. At least this one kind of played out the way I thought it would. You know, we said right out of the gate that point spread was a bit long. It was a bit high. So it played into that. So, you know, the game played pretty much how I thought it would, right? It was evenly matched through most of it. You know, Miami's offense controlled tempo for a long time. You know, defenses kept everything pretty much in check, right? There wasn't a lot of big plays or anything like that going on. It was a controlled kind of offense game. I thought Carson Beck played pretty well for most of the game, right? He was poised and in control for most of the game. You know, forget the end for a second, but, you know, you're pressing at the end. But I thought both quarterbacks, obviously Mendoza was excellent. So, you know, they played well. I thought, you know, Indiana's defense was solid. Turnovers were minimized all the way through for the most part. Second half was pretty much on script, what I thought would be. I mean, it was very much what I expected. It was a good game. It was a close game, which I thought it would be. And I think the better team won. I mean, we said that Indiana was likely the better team. I think the better team won. So it'd be hard to look back at this and say that, you know, what happened isn't what should have happened, right? The better team won the game. It was a good game. It was fun to watch. So at the end, I mean, everything played out. But, you know, all this argument about who should be in the playoffs and who shouldn't have been, you could have had two teams in the playoffs and the same team would have won. So at least this time, it worked out where the number one team was going to win anyway. They were the better team, and that was the end of it. So still, it was good. Worked out at least for once in terms of our betting, and it was a fun game to watch. So those are my thoughts.
All right, Tim, I know you're going to be completely objective here because, I mean, you don't hate Miami in the least. But, you know, if you could at least try and be objective for a few seconds before you go off on you not being all the way back, what'd you think of the game?
Well, on the defensive side of the ball, it was obviously a great effort by Indiana all the way around. You got Mikal Kamara, Keelan Wyatt up front, did a really good job in the trenches with Aiden Fisher, Hardy, Isaiah Jones at linebacker. They did a great job. D'Angelo Pons on an island out there. Jamari Sharp with a big interception. You know, Amari Farrell and Lewis Moore did a great job at safety as well. Devon Boykin was also all over the place. So and let's not forget Mario Linder and what's his name? Hosa Wheeler. So
what are the jersey numbers? I'm confused about the jersey numbers. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Look at the offensive side of the ball. I mean, Roman Hemby and Keelan Black, they did a great job. Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper did some great catches. Don't forget Riley Nowakowski at tight end. He had a great game. It all starts in the trenches up front. You know, Carter Smith, Drew Evans, Pat Coogan, Bray Lynch, Zen Mikowski up front, really making time. The quarterback, Number 15, I forget his name. He had all the world to pass the ball and show why he won the Heisman. So that's great breakdown. How'd you like that? See what I did there?
That was good. You basically just read the entire Indiana roster for anybody who wasn't aware, so that was good. We appreciate it.
I know all the players' names now, and they're all going to change next year.
That's
so
good.
There we go.
The only thing that kind of surprised me is, like, if you guys are, I mean, obviously we know we all read other articles and see what other people are thinking. I don't think I heard anybody laying the points with Indiana. I think we all thought that anybody betting this game was taking the 8.5, and obviously the kickoff went down to 7.5. So a lot of people betting on Miami. But there were quite a few people who were picking Miami to win outright, and their reasoning was Tim had mentioned the trenches, Miami's offensive line outweighing Indiana's defensive line by like 50 pounds a guy. There was one drive in the first half where Miami just went like pass, and quick 3 and out. Didn't understand that at all, especially since like in the first half, Miami didn't have the ball that often. It was pretty much time of possession dominated by Indiana. So I wonder if even on that one drive, if they had tried to run, maybe try and wear down Indiana, because they're saying Indiana really doesn't swap out a lot of their starters. I mean, those guys are playing the majority of the game for 16 games now, but didn't even look like they really tried to tire that unit out. So, and, you lose by 6, you doink the field goal there. Maybe Carson Beck doesn't throw that deep pass. He just tries to maybe throw a couple more short ones to get into field goal range and tie it up. But, I mean, good game. I mean, I was nervous. Once Indiana settled for that field goal, I was like, that offensive lineman is going to leave school after that false start penalty. I was like, I don't know if you heard his interview. He said that somebody asked him what he thought of when Sharp made that interception. He goes, I may kiss him. Whatever. If you're off the hook, if that's what you want to do, more power to you. But, yeah, definitely an entertaining game. I'm not surprised at the outcome. And like I said, if you followed us and went with our bets, we all gave out a bet. We all hit. Pete gave out 8.5. That hit. Tim gave out the over 47.5. That hit. My dog is growling like crazy. And I gave out first quarter under 9.5. It was 3-0 when the first quarter ended. So good way to end for us. As fans, we got to see the U lose. And as bettors, we all cashed our last ticket of the year. So
a couple things did come full circle. I heard some tidbits after the game. Mendoza wanted to go to Miami. They didn't even recruit him. I guess his parents both went to Miami. They were a tennis player. And one was a swimmer, I believe. And another one that came really full circle, Jamari Sharp, who made that interception at the end of the game, his dad played for Miami. And he got
that penalty against Ohio State.
He had the penalty at the end of the game against Ohio State to set up Claret to go in and score the touchdown at the end. That's talk about full circle there. It's like, wow. So there was no crystal ball moment, but we did have the Carson Beck moment. One or the other. I figured one of them was going to happen. I didn't think it, but I was thinking, okay, here's the time. I was probably thinking maybe a sack on Beck with a fumble or something like that. I didn't actually say interception, but I thought if it was game was going to end the way it ended, it was going to be something like that. It wasn't going to be like a tackle behind the line of scrimmage on 4th and 1 or anything like that. It was going to be a turnover by some way of a turnover by Carson Beck. So, but no crystal ball moment. Got to give it to him. He didn't. No. That's the key to coaching for him. Just don't just recruit players. Let the coaches coach. Good, right? Yeah, he's the goat at recruiting. So let him just recruit the players and let somebody else coach them. Brilliant.
Right.
And now the big question for Miami, are they going to get, not that we're discussing portal today, but Darian Mensah, the Duke QB, saying, forget my contract. I'm going to enter. Apparently there's some working behind the scenes. Miami's going to apparently try and buy out whatever they need to buy out. And there's the word on the street. He's headed to the U.
It's the wild, wild west.
Yeah, so the U might actually still be back if they get Mensah, which will depress me as a fan, but we'll see. Those guys have until 2 days from now, the 24th. Those two teams can still have players enter the portal 5 days after their last game. So something came out on Yahoo that Malachi Toney was entering, but I haven't seen anything following up on that, whether that's accurate or not. But
I saw something about that.
Yeah, I know. Something to watch if that actually happens, and the U will not be back. But
Oh, they'll still be back. They got more people. I mean, it's fine. He does recruit. I got to give him that. He's a great recruiter. So,
all right, so that puts a wrap on the 2025 season. Oh, yes. But our off-season schedule just getting ready to kick off. Tim has mentioned this before. Mark Haynes from Coach's Hot Seat has been on with us 3 or 4 times in the past. The coaching carousel is absolutely nuts. It's not slowing down anytime soon. 33 different coaches coming up this year. So if you have any questions on your favorite coach, your least favorite coach, if you think Coach A is set to succeed, is Coach B set to fail, send us those questions, cfbdudes@yahoo.com, or more importantly, if you can, join us February 12th, 7 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Mark's going to take an hour out of his day and talk with you guys about anything college football coaching related. So hopefully we'll see you guys all there. And speaking of our off-season show schedule,
let's get
all right, asterisk. The topics are pretty much set. The dates, maybe not so much. So any date you viewers on YouTube see there, that's a Thursday. That just happened to be a great day for the 3 of us, more often than not, to be available and get together. If we do have to switch a day, we will do our best to try and keep it on that week. We certainly don't want to cram and try and give out crappy information by rushing some shows. But that's the first part of the offseason. Again, it starts with that live stream on the 12th. We'll do our bankroll management show shortly after that. Probably the least exciting show of the offseason, but probably the most important. And then we just start getting into previews. We're working on a guest for that March 19th show. Those odds are actually out. We'll show you some of those in a second. But then, through April, May, June, July, and August, it's just going to be previews. We decided that listening to us for like an hour and 45 minutes or longer is no way for anybody to spend their day. So for some of those Power 4 conferences, we've split that up into 2 shows. Order of teams yet to be determined. Probably do something alphabetical because we all went to Mohammedan. At least we learned the alphabet. So keep an eye on that. That's the schedule for now. Like I said, kind of spread out and kind of keep the shows a little bit shorter, but always the same quality info, lots of futures bets. And there you see it, August 27th, the week 0 preview, Saturday, August 29th. As of now, we've got 5 games with the ACC dominating the afternoon. Florida State, I believe, is in action on week 0. So,
oh, goody.
Yeah. Game to break that game down. Guys, all the end of August. So,
start my suffering a week earlier. That's wonderful. Thanks.
So, subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified when all those shows are ready to be viewed. Some of the, maybe the Power 4 shows we might do live. We're still kind of discussing that, but we know for sure Mark's show will be live. Anything after that, still up in the air. But check out the YouTube page. We'll post some info, and there'll be some previews if we're going to do a live show, so you can certainly get notified when that's ready to go. But that's it for the off-season schedule there. Tim, what next are we talking about?
Well, we did have some other graphical areas again. Let's dump on Miami again.
The U, not back.
And they still don't have an ACC championship. So there we go. We got
very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Some more. They're
right.
on the signs. Oddly enough, I can't see the numbers. I don't know who they are, but there we go. Here we go. We have our.
So if you're already suffering from betting withdrawal for college football, which I'm not, I don't know about you two guys. I need a few days to decompress here. DraftKings and FanDuel have come out with odds for teams to win the national championship for next season. What a surprise. All the big names, Ohio State and Indiana co-favorites on DraftKings at 7-1. Ohio State, the lone favorite at plus 650 on FanDuel. And the usual suspects after that, Indiana, Notre Dame, Texas, Oregon, Georgia, LSU. Basically anybody with money is on that list. Tim, we'll start with you this time. Anything on there that you like or anything on there that you do not like?
Well, my initial thought is, I ran with Texas A&M this year. Got my boy Marcel Reed. They're at plus 1,600 right now. So that's obviously I got plus 3,000 this year. They're not going to get up that high again, but I'm looking at them again. Why not? I mean, Reed's back. Have to check on the offensive line situation. They're always going to have good running backs and receivers because it's Texas and they have money. So, but right off the bat, Texas A&M, I like. I don't really like, God, I'm not feeling Lane Kiffin yet. I think he might have some growing pains there for 1 year before they start. I think they're spending someone giving them $25 million every year over year to build the roster. So we'll see what he does with all that cash, but probably have extra yoga sessions, but I don't know. For me, it's Texas A&M off the bat. No unit play right now. Give me some time. Peter, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I looked through the top 15 real quick. There's 2 I like and 2 I don't, right? So 2 that I think maybe finally ready here. I think Texas might be ready. I think that roster has matured. I think Steve Sarkisian's offense seems to be developing now. Obviously, you have a quarterback. I don't want to even start the quarterback thing, but quarterback that's got more of a veteran quarterback now. So I think that team feels more of like a grown-up contender now than hopes and dreams of last year. So that feels more solid to me where they sit. Oregon, I think they're a sneaky strong contender at that level. So that is interesting to me. They tend to peak late. They're built to be a playoff contender. So it didn't obviously go that great last year, but they ran into a monster and the wheels came off on them pretty quick in that game. So stuff happens, whatever. They're going to learn from that. So I think there's something positive there. The 2 on the other side, I mean, Indiana obviously is way up there because they just won. That's not going to happen again. They're going to come down. So that I don't love. In Miami, which is not on this list because they're a little below this level, they're a year out, I think. See what happens at quarterback, but I think certainly they're loaded, a lot of talent, but I think they're a year out from being able to kind of come back. So those are my thoughts real quick. Otherwise, as Darren said, the usual suspects, who stubs their toe early. We got all kinds of talk coming up on these teams. So don't want to spend too much time now. Those are my early thoughts.
I don't really like to play anyone 10-1 or less. But if I'm looking at those other 5 there, I mean, I get what Tim's saying about it. I don't like Alabama at all. I think they lost a ton. I wouldn't touch them even at 22-1 on FanDuel. Texas Tech, and I don't know all these schedules. I took a look at some of them, like Notre Dame and Texas Tech have really cake schedules. That's great to get you into the playoff, but I don't know how battle-tested you are when it comes playoff time. Tim had mentioned Texas A&M. Well, they had a pretty soft schedule. They didn't play any of the really top teams in the SEC last year. And their first game out, they put up 3 against Miami. So, I mean, I think you got to have some tough games in there to make a run. Texas's schedule is kind of tough, but I think I kind of want higher odds. I have little questions about their offensive line, but they did great in the portal. LSU also great in the portal. Before I gave these odds to Tim, they managed to snag Ole Miss's sack leader. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that dude's last name, but he's an LSU Tiger now as well. You got Sam Levitt replaced with Nussmeier. Now Levitt's got some injury concerns, but if he stays healthy, 12-1 on LSU isn't terrible. They do start with Clemson again, so they would need to win that one, which I think they're going to. I don't know. Clemson lost a lot as well, but lean a little bit towards LSU and Texas. Not really liking the odds with Notre Dame or Texas Tech.
What was the quarterback that Indiana got in portal?
Hoover.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. TCU, is that right? Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You talked about Texas A&M's not playing a tough schedule. I was told there are no soft games in the SEC, Darren. The greatest conference.
I'm going to tell you. I don't know if you were scouring Twitter, but your favorite person on the planet, Paul Feinbaum, came out and had like this minute-long apology. And I was like, is this even the same jackass that I occasionally hear people complaining about all the time? Literally just like bowed down to the Big Ten and Indiana and said that he was wrong all year long. So, I mean, the SEC is just a joke now, Tim. So don't
well,
get
the thing
any
is, next year, come August 27th, they're all going to be right back on that old
bandwagon. Oh, they won't even wait till that long. LSU will end up having a highly ranked portal class, and everybody will be crowning them the next champ. Them in Texas in the final. Mark it down. That's what's going to happen because that's what we're going to hear. But
I think my favorite of all time is when they had the 4-team playoff, and I think it was fine by me. Like the top 4 teams should be 1 Alabama, 2 Auburn, 3 Ole Miss, and 4 Mississippi State. This is when I guess Dan Mullen, when they were the first time Ole Miss was they bought all their players. They had DK and all them, and all 4 of them lost in the bowl game. Like FSU beat Auburn, Oklahoma beat Alabama, and I think Georgia Tech beat Ole Miss, and I want to say TCU beat Mississippi State. It's like all the other conferences all took their turns, like kicking their ass. Danny Cannell had a field day with that with Paul Feinbaum, I'm sure. But
this year the SEC wasn't any good either. When they weren't beating each other, the only other team they beat was James Madison. Other than that, they beat nobody of real quality. So
they didn't win any bowl games. Did I hear that right?
They won a couple, but I mean they were sub 500 in bowl games. Like I said, they got 5 teams in the playoff thanks to constant whining. So I don't think Bama or even Oklahoma deserved to be in, but they played each other, knocked one out. Georgia played Ole Miss, so one of them was getting knocked out there. It's the only reason half of those teams advanced because they ain't each other. Everybody had to advance, but
Wake Forest beat somebody from who they beat? They beat Missouri. Is that who they played? Who'd they play? Or no, Iowa played Missouri.
No, Iowa played Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. So I think Wake Forest beat Missouri like 45-22 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that?
Missouri didn't have anybody except Ahmad Hardy, but
No, that's true. Okay. Oh well.
All right, so that whets your appetite for the 2026 betting season. Also, FanDuel's got a few win totals out there. I don't know why they put Arkansas up. Something happened at Arkansas that I'm completely not
What's the
aware
win
of.
total?
They had Virginia Tech and Penn State for the longest time, obviously Virginia Tech and LSU due to the new coaches. Then they put Arkansas up the other day at like 4.5. I'm like, why is that the third team you're posting a win total for? But that might be an under. But anyway. Oh, all right. What's next? Should we wrap it up?
I think we have the season wrap up.
Oh, gosh.
So have that. I got a call from the Justice Department. They said for national security, I had to redact. They said mine was, I guess the Russians were tapping into the show. And,
fair enough. Okay.
And my numbers were coordinates, so no, I won't do that. I'll put it up.
Well played, Kenny. Well played.
Well, thanks. Actually, given my suckitude at math, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. I knew it was bad, but when I cashed in those other bets and looking at my account, so I do have 23.5 units left to give them everything that I was down in bets that I cashed in. So yeah, if you bet against me this year, you did very well. So you were up 30 some odd units. So I blame that dude in the offseason who said that we weren't placing any bets. I was like, all right, I'm going to bet on every. I think I had like 20 future bets for the conference champions and everything. So yeah, so I'm going to do some. I'm going to follow the Bankroll Management Show. Tune in for that next month. But yeah, I'm going to work on my bankroll management here. But hey, I won my last bet. There we go. Building momentum.
Boom.
Well done, Darren. Looks good.
Yeah,
Looks good.
Darren,
Nice
let's
work.
do you last. Pete, let's do you, and then we'll finish on a positive.
Oh, I don't want to talk about me. It was a tough year, man. I said it was a very interesting year to bet. It was I don't know. Totals were far more difficult this year than they were in past years. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to go back and just do some assessment before I start betting this coming year because something was different this year. But I'm gonna have to take a look at that because I was struggling more than I usually do, and I'm not exactly sure why. So I've got to take a look at it. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll call it a debacle of a year a bit and move forward. We'll be all right.
Yeah. And Darren, you're on the plus side, I believe. I can't see those screens
Just
from
barely. I was looking at that, and because 2024, I think even hitting Ohio State at 8-1, I was still down like 12.5 units for 2024, even cashing that bet. So yeah, my 2024 was pretty much what that picture I send you guys, booty cheeks, as the kids are saying. Yeah, my 2024 was terrible. And even the regular season there, when we were in our Orlando trip in October, after that, I was still down like 9 units. But like Pete said, where he's going to kind of go back and look at some things, I kind of did that after the trip. And so some stuff kind of clicked. But the only reason that's up a couple units, I gave out 6 2-unit plays and went 5-1 on those. If those were all just regular 1-unit plays, I'm negative. So it was just a matter of hitting a couple key bets. I'm kind of really proud of the bowls and playoffs because as impossible as bowls are, to be a couple games over and make a unit or so there, I'm happy with that. But, we hopefully figured something out. We're going to try it for a full year. Hopefully that can be a little bit better. But, 2024 in the first half of 2025, not good. But, was happy to bounce back and be a little bit positive in all 3 of those categories there. So. But you know what? That's over. That's done with. We're going to scrap that. And we're all 0-0 starting now. So
that's right. Thank God for the Rams. I thought I was going to have to reload. I was like, oh, my God. Yeah. So, go Rams. Man, well, I'm not going to jinx it. So I'll say I'm betting on them again this week because I just bet on them every week. So we'll see what happens. They'll break my heart this week, I'm sure. Any final thoughts before we head into the off season, boys?
No, it's a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun doing this, so that's why we do it. And looking forward to growing the channel some more. We've had some success this year. Looking forward to continuing to evolve with all of you. So thank you all for listening this year and hanging with us, and even with our crappy bets sometimes. Thank you for being here. We do appreciate it.
All right, and once
I have
again,
nothing to add. That was perfectly said.
What was that?
I said I have nothing to add. That was perfectly said.
Yes. Yep. I think for next year, we're going to have Pete host some of these shows.
Yeah, exactly. He's been with us for
Peter.
a full season and no hosting yet? Yeah, that's changing.
Yeah, we got to change that. The host carousel. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a message, leave a review, 5 stars. We would love it. Also, leave your questions for Mark, cfbdudes@yahoo.com. You can email us there, and we will see you on the 12th.